In this video, we are going to see how to obtain our final report with all the information that we have been adding to the program. So for now, we have completed the analysis for each evidence, as we can see from the checklist, in which we have no alerts, all the tasks are concluded, and all the evidence have been analyzed. So for now that everything is completed and concluded, we can, by using still the program, use the custom shortcode that we have created as we have seen in the previous video from the general settings on the custom shortcodes. We can apply and fill in with some analysis details. So as you remember, we had this request from the client that was searching for specific content related to drug. So in here, in this analysis area, we can start by adding all these analysis results we found in this particular evidence, the photo, by adding also the photo of the drug related content, by adding the photo found in the gallery, and list everything we have found related to this drug content. So adding the analysis details, as you can see here, the format is still similar to a Word format, so we still have all the main tools we can find also in Word. We have additional shortcodes in order to speed up and use for instance, the logo, the case name, jurisdiction, and maybe also the client request, and so on. So we can use the shortcodes. Here we have the first, the different levels of the sections that we can modify and use different colors and so on. So from here we are going to list all the analysis details that we have found out inside the evidence. Of course, it is suggested to save if we modify anything. If we do not, click on the save button. The program will ask us if we want to save before exiting the pages. Together with the analysis details, as you remember, we have created other custom shortcodes. So we have the activities overview, in which also in this area we are going to write an overview of all the activities that we have performed to the evidence according to the task list and according to the type of the case and the type of analysis we should have performed. Storage media content. In this area we can list all the content that we are going to provide inside the storage media. So for the person that they are going to analyze those contents that we are going to provide with the storage media, they know where they can find all the things. And finally we have the conclusion. So here we can write all our conclusion about the analysis of this evidence. Please note, these are those shortcodes, the custom shortcodes that we have created. Of course, by generating the report, we are going to obtain an editable format, so it can be opened by Word, for example. So you can keep on maybe adding additional information on the conclusion, on the analysis details, and so on, also on the generated report. So everything is good. We can right now perform some other activities. So we can export the case in a .sfc format, just to maybe share it with another colleague to let him import it and maybe proceed with analysis of other evidence that he has at disposal and so on. So we can export in .sfc, and we are going to save it in our desktop. Few seconds and the export is fine. We can see the export. Moreover, then the export of the file of the case in those SFC format to share it with other colleagues in order to let them perform the analysis and so on, we can archive the case in order to save it in our archive and do not see it when we can consider it closed, or of course we can generate the report. So again, here you see we have no alerts because everything is good. As we have also checked on the checklist, we are going to say where is going to be saved, and we generate the report. As you see, in a few seconds we are going to obtain our well-formatted editable format of the final report. Here we have our final report. This message is asking if we want to keep on the links inside the file. We are going to say yes, and here we go. We have our final report well formatted. Here we have the information about the examiner, how we decided to be placed in the first page of the final report as we define in the template. In the template, then we have added the case name, the client, the start investigation date, the storage of media that we are going to provide, and as you see here we have the pages. So we have 44 pages of as final report, and we actually filled some areas inside the program, so it's pretty much great what we have obtained. So here we have the table of contents divided by chapters as we have set it up on our template. These are the evidence, the analysis, the conclusion. This is the list of figures, the abstract. This is the first chapter we had in our template. So from the abstract, we know we have the current assignment details relative to the name of the case, the client, when we start the investigation, the person that is going to perform the analysis, the client request. Moving on, we have this general text about the normal activities that we usually do. And as you remember, we didn't write anything in the area of the custom shortcode about the overview of the activities. In fact, this is the text that we are going to see, because we are not, we haven't write anything. So in the final report, we are going to find these characters as we have decided actually inside the template settings. Moving on, we have the content of the delivery storage media that we set up in order to let the people find easily all the information. Moving on, we have the assignment documentation, the chain of custody, so we are able to see all the person that have been in contact with the evidence, the introduction, so an explanation, this general text that we write once for each template if we need different text for different templates and different case types. We write it once and is already always the correct one, and with no errors and other additional information. Moving on, we have finally the description of the forensics tools used. So in this case, we are going to see those recursive templates for the tools that can be placed more than once. So from here, we also know that we are going to see those tools that have been used, but of course, inside our program, we have all the tools that we have at disposal in our lab. But of course, only the ones that have been used according to the acquisition log will be placed in the final report. So we have the FTK imager, we have the UFED Celebrate, Tableau, and here we have the information on the reports, so the how to open the acquisition, the extraction that we have performed with the different instrumentation. So For FTK Imager, we are going to use this tool, but it can also be used by it can also be opened by using Magnet Axiom. Examine, Celebrate Reader for the Celebrate extraction, and then we have the acquisition. So we have all the investigated person, we have the information about the evidence, and this is the one that we added together. And here we have all the extraction details. So we have the type, the manufacturer, the model, the serial number, the notes. As you see, as much as information you add inside the program for each evidence, for each case and whatever, the more and much more complete will be the final report. So here we have the photo and the acquisition log with the hashes. This is the iPhone, so we know the manufacturer is the Apple, the model is iPhone 11 Pro, this is the IMEI, this is the serial number, the credential, the PIN, and the acquisition log. We'll move on like this for all the analyzed evidence, and here we have the analysis. So remember those custom shortcodes. Here the analysis is the area in which we have written everything that we have found out in the evidence related to the drug content. And the conclusion. So we have our fully completed and well-formed final report that follows the international best practices for the creation and the reports to provide in very few seconds and by adding few information inside the program.